That would be so funny and weird at the
I'm
same time.
concerned because while Aiden is a heavy blend of the both of us, I don't know, Mason is starting to lean towards his dad with the attitude and everything like that. Like they were talking. I was trying to figure out because Mason doesn't.
Mason's
He
a Leo.
says he's a Cancer. I have a Gemini and a Cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Is he a
Yeah.
cuss baby?
I don't believe in cuss, but he probably would be. I want to eventually get
His chart.
both of their astrological charts and go through them. Yeah. Yeah. He's a lot. Like so he does this thing where he says thank you, but he doesn't say please. He sticks out his hand and goes like that. So I
Yeah.
was trying to find out from his daycare teacher if that's like some sort of sign language. And she was like, no, well, please is this. And he was like playing with another kid, and the daycare teacher was trying to get him to say please. And he looked at her like, he literally went, and then she goes, well, I guess you're not asking for anything. So that would make sense that you wouldn't want to say please. And he went back to what he was doing, like, you dummy. Oh my gosh. And then I asked him how his day was, and he looked me dead in my face and was like, dog. And I was like, but the dog's not here. How was your day? And he goes, dog. I was like, so you're not going to talk to me like I'm stupid. That's what you're not going to. I heard you the first time. I'm concerned.
Sounds like me and his daddy, and like, you have my kid. You have my kid.
And the dog is also a Libra. So I'm just.
You've seen my baby pictures. I always look unamused and
He always looked
always look like, what's going on here? I don't trust y'all. I don't like all
I
my.
be trying to get him so pumped for daycare, Ray. And I'd be like, do you want to see such and such? I asked him that on Tuesday. And I will never ask it to him again. I said, you want to see such and such? He said, no.
Oh
Okay,
no,
then.
man. My mom always tells the story of like when I was in daycare and I told the kids to kiss my ass. And she thinks it's because I was watching In Living Color the night before. And I am 1,000% sure I meant it with all my heart.
You
I
meant
just
that
never
shit with
knew.
all your heart. You
I
said it.
don't
You probably said it in the right context too, the right tonation. You were kiss my ass.
And it is probably because I learned the phrase from In Living Color. I'm not taking that away from her, but I understood what it meant. I wasn't just repeating. I just
You were not repeating it at all. You were like, nah. Yeah, I understand completely.
it's
100%.
nap
Oh my God.
time. Kiss my ass.
Uh, he's he is a child. He definitely does like he's doing his like baby speak now, and then he, peppers it in with words.
Mm-hmm.
But he also doesn't like to be told what to do. So he used to tell me night night.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I go say night night, he goes bye bye, and I'm like, no, say night night. And he looked me dead in my face and went bye bye. He knows how
You
to say the dog's name, but refuses to say it because I've asked him to say it now. So the dog is Milo, and he can say Milo. He has said Milo, but now he goes Lo. And I was like, but all of that extra stuff was unnecessary. Just say
because
Milo.
he know what he doing. He like I can't advance too quickly. This is a West Indian household. They gonna put me to work.
They are ate it. Why ain't he gonna say when does he get to start doing chores? You don't do your own chores. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We still have a weekly fight on you doing your chores in a timely manner. And you worried about this child? Your room smells like balls and sweat. Leave me alone. I gotta get deodorizer for his room. One of the Boy Scout teachers said that that's how boys smell. And I'm like, no, I lived with a boy. No,
No,
this
but
is
you live with a
disgusting.
clean boy. You live with a clean boy, and like that's the difference. That is the world of difference. A man who like cares about his body, you forget that they are a man sometimes. because like when they do, man, you're like, I'm just telling you, men stink. They natural
He is nasty. And I be telling him, like, you think I don't peep the nasty stuff you do? He ain't do his laundry this week. Why
he
he wore the hoodie? He wore a hoodie Sunday, did not do his laundry like he was supposed to, and then wore it to school on Tuesday and walked out the house. And I was like, you nasty buzzard.
because there are boys that care about like I don't know what it is. It makes me so fucking mad. But like there are boys that just see hygiene and like being clean as like a thing to do, as another chore. And it's like it's literally your body. It
He
is
don't care.
it's literally your fucking body. Like, how do you not understand? Like, trying to get that point across is so hard to men sometimes.
He's
And
just
it's either they care or they don't. And it's very early when they care. Because, like, my best friend, he has cared his entire life and has continued
wait.
caring.
What did you say?
My best friend. You know him.
I'm not a male, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh my God. You know who I am referring to.
Do I though? Because last time I
He
checked,
is the reason why I can watch Peacock to do this podcast.
and I am glad that he is a great friend to you.
But as I was saying, he has always cared from the day I have met him. He has
You
always
don't
been.
care about me though.
Here we go. Why are you this way?
It's my Scorpio nature.
I know. Once an episode, you get territorial.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is it
And
really
you
once
wonder
an
where.
episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say something, and it's like, you ain't never watched that with me. It's like,
I mean, it's true though. I even asked you. I asked you on Twitter or X, what is it you want me to watch so we can discuss it? You ain't even respond to
because one
me.
of the answers is Grey's Anatomy, and the other answer is Invincible, a very violent cartoon.
I mean, but that's not the point. You still should have responded to me.
I figured I would do it on the podcast,
No, you hurt my feelings.
for
Shout out to
SEO.
your best friend though.
You are adorable when you're so possessive. Anyway, it's been 8 minutes, and we haven't even branded the
Brand the
call.
podcast.
Oh my God, that should be the tagline now. Brand the podcast. Oh man. What's up, everybody? It is your Migraines Up co-host Ray, joined by my co-host.
I'm actually not tired, so that's a plus. I've been taking magnesium, so maybe that's what it is.
It's
So I
also
am your.
9:59 in the morning.
I'm typically tired when I wake up. You forget by the time like most people have woken up, I've dealt with 2 children. I've gotten the husband up. I've done worlds. But I'm Janelle. I'm here. Jazz hands.
Joe's alarm went off at 4:30 this morning, and I woke up, and my left eye was like boom, 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 boom. It's 4:30 in the morning. How does my brain even know to hurt me right now?
That's the worst though, waking up with a headache because it's like your eyes open and then your head's like, yes, feel the pain that you should have felt for the last few hours.
Yeah, like I woke up again at 6, and it was still like boom, boom, boom. But then my head was also like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh no.
It's garbage. I made plans to do some day before Thanksgiving drinking, and they were like, "You are in your 30s, man. Be an adult and not try to drink the night away the day before Thanksgiving." But I don't have to cook. I don't. I don't have to cook.
Are you going with your in-laws?
I will be with my brother's in-laws. Yeah.
You're gonna have to cook.
No.
Are they catering?
I told Jose to like make sure he like gives me my portion, the portion that we've been
You guys
missing.
are splitting for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving?
yeah, we're splitting.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be
Well,
with his family. I'll be with my family, and mostly so I can. You know what? I was like, how much am I saying on this podcast?
see, that's why I was like, smile.
No, my mom hasn't seen her son in years. Yeah, years. So,
Oh.
gotta be there for that.
Yeah.
I miss my niece and my nephew, my nibblings.
Oh. What did you call them?
Nibblings.
Nibblings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every.
Because you need to enunciate them B's, man. It comes through the headphones, and I'm like, you should call them nicklings. Like, hey, biracial. Is that what we should call Phoebe?
I
Tried so
had pasta shells for dinner last night, so I'm gonna be nice.
You what?
I had pasta shells for dinner last night, so I'll be nice.
Are you preparing for Thanksgiving?
I went to I went to the gym in Howard Beach.
Fancy.
I know. Yo, the Planet Fitness in Howard Beach. All right, Howard Beach. You a Uber away, but I see you.
Who is an Uber though?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be starting Muay Thai next
Muay
week.
Thai.
Muay Thai. There we go. I don't know. So how has your week been? What is your report? Report out. Tell me what you've been doing.
My report out. Okay, so I've been for playing, I did it a little differently. I have been playing Snow Angel, Renee Rapp's latest album, and Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson.
I like how you switched it up. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Kelly Clarkson's cover album?
I
Or are you
have
talking about
not.
Kelly Rowland?
No, I'm talking about Kelly Clarkson.
Okay. I was like, I could have sworn her last album was like Coffee or something.
Chemistry. No, she put one out. This is the divorce album.
Oh, this is the breakup album? Oh.
Yeah, this is the breakup album.
Okay.
And
because I love her singing A B C D E F U. She took that song and owned it.
Oh, the breakup album is so good.
Is it good?
It's so good.
Okay.
Oh my god! Like, we gonna find you, and we gonna get you back for Reba, and we gonna get you back for Kelly. We gonna get you back.
The fact that she had to give him half still blows my mind. Fuck that, yo. What else have you been doing?
Oh man, Pop TV plays ER the way TNT used to play ER. So from like 9 a.m. till noon, it's ER, baby. Taking up that charm spot because I can't.
You can't do both, right?
E is playing Charm 2 from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So TNT plays Charm, E plays Charms. I'm all charmed out because I gotta do this podcast. But Pop TV, baby, oh my god, ER.
Okay, I'll take the look.
The original Grey's Anatomy, so good.
It's the original Grey's Anatomy.
And we're in the John Stamos years now.
Oh, I forgot he was on ER.
Man, we just went
this
through
before or after he had the depression because he wasn't getting no work.
I guess this would probably be after, right?
I don't know.
He did like SVU. I feel like these are around the same time. Maybe I'm getting my timeline messed up. Either way, we're in the last season of 6 Feet Under.
Okay.
It's a lot. It is. It's a lot. And I see the barriers that they were breaking at the time. Watching it with 2023 eyes, like, y'all doing a lot.
So it doesn't stand the test of time, like
no, it does.
People say it does. Okay,
it does.
Okay.
It does. You just have to remember that this is an early aughts show.
Okay.
An HBO early aughts show.
Okay.
Where they were pushing the envelope, but we are still in the early aughts. I'm watching, obviously, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Potomac. I am obviously an episode behind on Married to Medicine and Invincible. But yeah, it's I don't know if I want to do Invincible to you because it is a good cartoon. It's very good. It's also very violent.
Doesn't he like curb stomp his son out or something like that?
He pushed his son's face through a train, a moving train.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then curb stomps him.
So Invincible is just very, like you said, it's very bloody. I don't, and this sounds horrible, but like ID and like Fear Thy Neighbors, like my cozy
Yeah.
relax type of thing. So yeah, there's that. What else have you been up to? So
That's
that's it.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about eating, I went to the Cheesecake Factory this week. I don't know why people are we're talking shit about Cheesecake Factory.
I like Cheesecake Factory.
That tiramisu cheesecake, mm, it's in my fridge
I
right
have not had. God, I don't think I've had Cheesecake Factory since last time we were in Vegas.
now. Yeah.
So
We
that
were
was a while.
yeah. I'm so mad. I was planning like a Valentine's Day Vegas trip for me. And life happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me have him pay for it. You can plan it. You can say you had to pay for it. Plan it. I think this is. Come on.
Oh,
What have I been doing? What else have you been doing?
no,
You said we do
I,
some.
I put it in the atmosphere. I was like, ah, so sad that we can't go on like a tropical trip. I was planning a trip to Vegas. Pout, pout, pout,
Pout, pout, pout.
pout, pout, pout. Planting the seedlings. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. So I started reading Legends and Lattes. It's about a mercenary orc who builds a coffee shop. So I'm literally at the part where she's building a coffee shop. It's really cute and cozy. I don't know if it's my reading speed or if it's a short novel, but I only have like an hour and a half left. And I just started like a couple days ago.
I feel it is your reading speed. You do read fast.
I do read fast. I told you yesterday I'm completely obsessed with the new Death Cab for Cutie song. It's a
Mm-hmm.
5-minute song, and X X XM SXM Sirius XM
Mm-hmm.
has replay. So the moment it's over, if I'm in the car, I go right back to the beginning. It's such
I do like
a
it.
good song. I don't know, it's the words, but it's also like God, I haven't had a song that has like a really good instrumental in so
Mm-hmm.
long. So you got them drums and then the instrumental. I am absolutely
We've
feral for
been
that song.
we've been spoiled or not spoiled. We've been conditioned to like these TikTok songs
Yes.
that are super quick and don't have like a beat, which is why I forgot. I've been also listening to the Flute album.
I started and it like, oh my, I can feel the vibrational changes. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually have a reading to do later for a friend of mine. So I was going to play it to see how that changes the vibration. Because typically I do play binaural beats if I'm doing a heavy reading.
Mm-hmm.
So I will see. But I do
I
like it so far.
Yeah, I was playing it while cleaning up my kitchen. My kitchen. And
You didn't want to cause murder like you typically do?
yeah, so to paint the picture for the audience, I am using Goo Gone in my kitchen and a scraper and just going through decades of gunk that has built up in this inherited apartment of mine to paint a cleaner picture. Um, and oh my god, I am I'm exhausted. I am literally cleaning cupboards top to bottom. I'm wiping off the seasoning containers before they even go back in the cupboard. I am washing the dishes. Oh, I can't wash dishes anymore because my sink is backed up. Yes. So I was playing the Flute album in the midst of that. And I was just like, you're not going to get me down. This has to get done. This has to get done. I will not be upset.
Mm,
But
I
yeah,
feel you on
yeah.
that. So, I don't even know what to say about that. I only gotten through the first song. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I do love the fact that they're very like the
Like
titles are very
9-minute
emo.
songs.
Yes, yeah. So I'm excited. I want to truly listen to it without having the kids around.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm still playing Baldur's Gate. Well, I've picked it back up, but I also have Game Pass, and there's a game that I've been waiting for a while. It came
Hmm.
out on Switch first. It's called Minoko's Night Market, and it's a cozy game.
Hmm.
But Mel's been yelling at me because I'm playing 3 different games at once, and he's like, "Pick something and play it." And I'm like, "But you got." I feel like it's the same thing with books. Sometimes I'm not in the mood
Hmm.
to be all hack and slash and sometimes when it's something cozy to warm me up before I go to sleep. So I think I'm gonna finish off Coffee Talk and then play Minoko's Night Market.
I was listening to the Gossip Kings podcast, and they had a guest that told the story of like back in the GameStop days where you can like return a game within like the week.
Yes. So you can still do that. The
Yeah,
game just has to be used. You can't do it new. And Mel used to do it all the time. But now that the games are so much longer than they were before, you're talking about like 400,
hours.
100 hours, 200. So Baldur's Gate in itself is like 250 hours, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have games now that are like 100 hours, 200 hours, where you're doing all these side missions, you can't really
Mm-hmm.
return them in a week. But Mel used to do that. Mel would wait a couple weeks for the game to come out, buy it used, play it for 7 days, exchange it and get something else. Those were the
Yeah,
days. It'll be sad when GameStop is no more.
I know. Christopher Nolan was on. I forgot where he was selling this, but he is digital media is dying, baby.
It's
I have all my like. Everybody's upset about giving up their DVDs, and I still have mine. I still have
I
mine.
never was a DVD person, so streaming was perfect for me because I didn't buy. But now with everything, which is also concerning as somebody who's always had it, I wouldn't say always, but since about 2008, I've had a Kindle, and
Hmm.
it's very concerning now because I'm part of like some Kindle groups, and people be doing effed up stuff, or Amazon will think you do f up stuff and will completely shut down your Amazon account, which also you lose access to your books. So I've started to do a lot more Libby versus buying off of Amazon, which
Hmm.
no, you don't get to keep the book. But I
But you
also
are
don't
supporting your local library.
right, and I also don't typically reread books.
Hmm.
But guys, so I am looking from a book from 1985. Used to be one of my favorite books. Um, it did not come with the move, and I want the original cover. So that's the problem because the newer covers are ugly and the original cover was very soft. It was pink, it had roses on it. So I'm in like all of these groups now in search of this book. Because and I don't want to get the Kindle version because apparently the Kindle version changes like scenes and names and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I really want this book. It's one of my favorite books. It's one of the only books I think I have read more than 5 or 6 times.
I am not a book rereader, and it's because I finished the book already. If I try to reread it, my brain starts automatically rejogging my memory,
Right.
and I don't want to remember this. Shut up! I just want to read.
Right.
No, it
Right.
won't happen.
Though I
Um.
might reread Akatar when the next book comes out. And just maybe the first two. I didn't really like some of the other ones. They weren't as good. Not that I didn't like them, but they weren't as good. Like the first two.
Mhm.
But the ones with her sister, I don't give a shit about your sister. I don't give a fuck. I'm fuck. I'm fuck. And that was like my whole like feeling throughout reading it. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care. But I think if something has a series and it's taken a long time for a book to come out, then I will go back and do like you said, because your brain kind of starts to fill in.
Mhm.
So it's a quick read, like a rush through, and not kind of being self indulgent and taking the time to read it. But I think that's it. I'm not really doing anything else on television. Oh, I am obsessed with poke bowls now. They are so delicious.
Oh,
So that's what I've been eating. I've been eating spicy tuna poke bowls.
I just remembered that I watched Pete Holmes's latest Netflix special, I'm Not for Everybody, and I am not for everybody. So
Who is that?
he had a show on HBO, Crashing. I listened to his podcast. You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird.
Oh,
Oh,
I know his
right.
face.
Yeah. Uh, he's a safe comedian, I guess. He's not like safe as a Christian, but like you're not gonna get too offended by his work.
It's funny though because if you look it up on Google, because as you were saying safe,
Mhm.
it says people also search for TJ Miller.
Ah, the former Mucinex guy. Now that's Jason Mantzoukas. Wow, my knowledge of random information is just
It's wild.
it's wild. But you know what? The people are here for charm. So let's get into this episode.
That was a good segue. Bravo.
So we are on season 3, episode 11, Blinded by the Whitelighter. The original air date is January 25th, 2001. The writer this week is Neil Scoville, or Nell Scoville, who has 34 writing credits. The last one was Mystery Science Theater 3000 in
Wow.
2022, so literally last year.
That's still going on too.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that he wrote for it, Kid Me didn't think that they were writers. I really thought all of that was impromptu, which kind of takes
the the
the
mystique away.
not necessarily the mystique, but as they're watching these movies and they're making fun of them, I thought a lot of it was off the top.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's I don't know if it's as fun because
They're
they're just
writers,
reading a script, right?
or maybe it's like a reality situation where it is scripted to a point.
No, don't try to make me feel better.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'll never do that
You just
again.
you just you just I mean, you can probably make your other best friend feel better, so it's fine. Continue.
The director this week is David Strayton, who has 88 directorial credits. The last one was Magnum PI earlier this year. He has a
Ooh.
total of 5 Charm directorial credits, 1 more in season 3, 2 in season 4, and 1 in season 5.
Hmm.
Yes. Our guest stars this week is, I got to take a whole breath before I say this woman's name, and hopefully I don't butcher it. Audrey Wazlewski as Natalie.
I didn't like her.
Uh,
Which I think she did a good job playing.
Another character actor. I literally just watched her in an episode of 6 Feet Under.
Oh wow, okay.
Like literally yesterday. She was in their cold open, so she was a cold open actor anyway. Uh, Audrey has 250 total writing acting credits. Most recently, Alice's Wonderland Bakery in 2023, which is, I believe, like a kids' children's show. Like it's animated for sure.
Oh, is that on Disney?
Probably.
It's cute. It's really cute.
And my personal fave, Red. She was in the trailer for Red, which is so wild.
Ah, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Red.
Kiss This, Grandpa. It is a very fun movie with John Malkovich and Bruce Willis and Mary Louise Parker. Yes. Oh, and Helen Mirren. And one more. Morgan Freeman. Boom. Retired, extremely dangerous. That's what it stands for. Again, guys, all I do is consume media and just take in the knowledge.
It's not necessarily that you consume media, but I think it's your recall on
Mhm.
media. Because I feel that tons of people could consume as much media as you do, but your recall is
Thank yous. Steve Valentine as Ames.
I love
109 acting
him.
credits. Most recently, Riley Rocket, but I loved his arc on Mom. You know, that was a good show.
He was on Mom. I only watched Mom when I was on maternity leave.
Yeah, he's in the later season of Mom.
I love him though.
Yep.
I do love him. He's very handsome. And rewatching this,
Mhm.
I wish we had more of, I mean, he definitely had some of his comedic charm, but I almost wished it was an arc because I was sad for him to just be like a baddie of the week. I really liked him. And I would have loved to, and we could talk about that, but I would have loved to have known his why.
I'm sorry, he had a fuck ass Bob, and that's
I
all.
know, I know.
That's all I
I was
think.
picking it up. I was picking it up. I would have loved to have known his why, but
Mhm.
I liked him a lot.
I do want to highlight LaShawn Anderson, who is simply credited as Wit. She was the hostage, and per IMDb, she has 10 credits. But I found more when I went on her actual website. She was on Port Charles and General
Oh.
Hospital and Happy Endings. So she definitely had a parking spot on the ABC lot, okay?
The
Because
guards definitely knew her.
they definitely knew LaShawn. Love her up, love her down. She definitely played a nurse because Port Charles is the spinoff of General Hospital, and it's
Mm-hmm.
all about like the actual. It's like just acting about the hospital instead of General Hospital, which is always really weird.
Right.
So I know she was definitely a nurse and had like she definitely had lines. She definitely was in multiple scenes. Love her up, love her down. I just need to highlight her because her and Natalie's deaths were very gruesome if you think about it. Hers in particular, because she got anyway.
He fucked up. He
Yeah,
fucked up.
and like
We were
that's
like,
not
oh wow.
kiss those again. Just her just being so discarded and like I knew it could have been anyone, but why did it have to be her?
Right. And I think that goes right back into some of the conversations that we've had in other seasons on diversity. And I guess
Mm,
when we get there, we can have a deeper conversation.
yeah,
But I think it rubbed me the wrong way, but then I also see what they did to Natalie. I
yeah.
was
Like
just
if
like,
they
oh,
had only did that to her and not to Natalie, I would have
right.
been like as a woman as a whole, I was offended this entire episode as a social justice warrior. Um, because like the a woman dies in the beginning, and then this witch dies so brutally, and then Natalie dies so brutally. Like we can't have like the one person, the one male that dies just gets burned. I mean, even that is gruesome, but he was
Right, right.
frozen for most of it.
Do you think I do find it funny that all the good people that died were women and all and the bad person was a
Yeah,
man?
as like we learned earlier in this series that there are male witches, so why couldn't like
Right.
the first witch be a male or the second witch be a male? If
Because they weren't the seventh son of the seventh son.
our musical guest this week was Fox, and they performed Annabelle. The music we heard in the episode, again, Collective Soul. Like y'all are just like every season 3 episode. We heard Skin, and we also heard Tonight and the Rest of My Life by Nina Gordon. And during the training combat scene, It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
That training scene. I was like, we're really gonna go with this training montage right now? Okay. All right,
Yes.
Rocky. All right.
Let's see. Any trivia I could give to you? Okay, the title is based upon the song titled Blinded by the Light by Bruce Springsteen, made famous
Oh,
by the Manfred Mann's Earth Band. This is the first episode where the heavens are shown, the first episode where Whitelighter is killed. This is the first time Piper creates or at least writes a part of a spell.
really?
Yes! And like,
I'm
real,
deflected. Was it? I'm rejected. You're deflect. Oh my god, that was so bad.
that was
I knew that
Phoebe.
wasn't
That
Piper.
was
I know it wasn't
Phoebe.
Piper, but it was so bad, and that's what like stuck in my head.
Uh,
It was so bad.
and Piper really spent 3 seasons going, no, it's Quake, or I gotta be at Quake. Leave me alone, and leave me alone. I gotta go to Quake. I gotta go to Quake. Then it's my man, my man, my man, my man, my man, Dan, Dan or Leo, Dan or Leo, Dan or Leo, Dan or Leo. Now you writing spells. It took you 3 seasons to write a spell.
Well, she only wrote the spell because she was forced to. I don't think she would have definitely have left it up to Phoebe if she had the chance. I'm not gonna give that point to her because that was done because she was forced to.
So weird. Like, why have you never written a spell?
I do like the fact that they had a rhyming dictionary to help them, though. I thought
Yeah,
that was nice.
I know. In a later, was it? There was definitely a spell that Prue did where Phoebe makes remarks. You really have to lay off the rhyming. And I don't know if it's because all these episodes are running together. I don't know if it's before this episode or after this episode, but the fact that there is a rhyming dictionary is just so cute. The
I love
actor
it.
Graham Shields, who appears as the one male victim in the episode, will reappear later in season 4 as a shapeshifter. So you die as a Dark Knight, or you come back as a shapeshifter, baby. Uh,
All right.
the IMDb synopsis is the sisters must stop a warlock from executing his plan to steal specific powers from witches in his attempt to kill every Whitelighter in the world. Meanwhile, the girls get a new Whitelighter named Natalie. All right, that was something. The DVD synopsis is the Charmed Ones battle their most powerful opponent, an ancient warlock who threatens the existence of all Whitelighters and witches. I like it.
That makes
I
yeah.
like it. To the point, wraps it all up, doesn't give anything away for once.
Right.
Any initial thoughts? I think I gave you all of the trivia. Yes, I did.
Well, I think this episode highlights how
That Leo is at his job.
I was going to say how hands off he has been. I think it then also goes to show how good the girls are working together and obviously not needing somebody like Natalie, but also like, excuse me, but also it feels that Natalie didn't really care about her charges versus Leo
And
kind of being more connected to his charges because when and we
when,
could talk about it, but
yeah.
when he felt it and she was just saying, "Oh, okay, well, like man up, bro. What do you want me to do about it?"
So it felt like one of those period simulator videos where the men are like, this is only 3? And, and the woman is just like, yeah, this is the regular day. And you be doing dishes on a 3? Oh no, baby. Oh no. And then
It did make me dislike her.
and I feel like that was very purposeful.
Yeah. So when Natalie, when she finally dipped, I understand what you were saying when you said that she played an active part in her demise.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, my initial thoughts is the Charm Ones definitely like murdered her. And they 1,000% murdered this woman. Did they get their hands clean? I mean, did they get their hands dirty? No. But they 1,000% aided and abetted in this woman's demise.
That was definitely gunshots to the elders. Like, play with us. Play with us if you want, homies.
And honestly, I feel like it's more nefarious than that because they did all this just so Piper and Leo can get married. If they very clearly said, if Natalie like reports bad about them, they don't get married.
Mhm.
They let this woman die just so Piper can marry a bum that she's not even really like. And this episode highlights it even more that they are not good together. Anyway.
They also said, the girls also said, if he doesn't come back as their Whitelighter, that they were going to go to the other side, which would have been easy for Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily think they would have went to your side, but I don't think that they would have played ball as easily as they have been if they lost Leo.
And
especially to somebody as callous and nonchalant as Natalie was.
and I don't feel like I don't like, because even because Prue in the scene at the bar where we were talking earlier, where I feel like this is gonna be just an episode of us just talking exposition instead of going through the whole plot, and that's even better. When they're in the bar writing the spell and they're talking about Natalie, Prue is very much like, you really do have to admire her dedication to the job, and because Prue sees herself in Natalie, because when Prue was at Buckland's, that's exactly how she was,
Yeah.
and she's dedicated to the job. The only reason why she's not at Buckland's is that she's destined for a higher power, and she wasn't happy at Buckland's, but she understands because that same like tenacity that Natalie has towards being a Whitelighter is that same tenacity that she has as a witch and as a photographer, and as somebody who actually has a work ethic. Because Phoebe doesn't know what it's like to have a job, and Piper is doing what she wants. She's her own boss.
I saw that, but I also saw Prue being very annoyed at her consistent playing by the rules and wanting to follow the rules, because she didn't do that at Buckland. She doesn't do that as a photographer now. It's one thing to have tenacity and passion about your job, but to be such a strict, go by the book, A, B, C, D, E, doesn't allow for you being flexible and in the situation allowing somebody else to be flexible.
And
Because
I
by the time
feel
she caught on what happened, it I know the girls knew that something was amiss, but they were like, "Oh, well, if she wants us to play by the rules, then we'll play by the rules."
again, but I feel like it's slightly hypocritical of Prue to have that mindset when you do the same thing. Like, yeah, you're very by the rules, you're very by the book, everything has its place. You're very rigid. That's a complaint that we have heard about Prue from season 1 through season 3. That she's very rigid. She is very stubborn, and I think it's one of those things where like it's okay when I do it, but when you do it, it's annoying.
You don't think though that there's been growth from season 1 to season 3 from Prue being very,
No,
this is by the rules?
it's definitely growth. I'm not going to take that away from her, but as spoiler alert, when they find out about Balthazar, it's Leo and then Piper. The person that they are most afraid of telling is Prue, because you know how she's going to react. You know how she's going to be. And while there is growth, you know how you just know how she is.
I didn't necessarily take it as her being upset because of them playing by the rules. I found it more so, this man has tried to take out us multiple times in multiple different ways, regardless of what. And then on top of that, she knew something was wrong with Phoebe over multiple weeks, and then Phoebe didn't say anything. I would be upset too. Like, you raggedy, especially last week too, we could have lost Leo. The elders could have been listening. There was so much, I think, complexity into Phoebe not telling her in
No,
all of the moments that she had to. I think it's a little bit more complex than just playing by the rules.
fair, and I'm not taking any of that aside, because even in this episode, she's like, "What's up?" Because she's still very cagey even after announcing the Victor bomb. But it's not just it's having to be accountable to Prue is the hardest thing they can do,
Right, right,
and
right.
And that's so yes, everything you just said is true, but that aside, it's still Prue. Like it's not like even if like that didn't happen or like if Prue was somehow okay with everything there, she would still be upset like you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And
I can see that, and also too, but you don't even know if I have it. Like I don't even know if I have a target on my back because you haven't said.
no,
Phoebe is just Phoebe is our complex little sister.
yeah, no, I know, and it's super, it's frustrating altogether, and we'll definitely deal with that in next week's episode. We can unpack that a
Mm-hmm.
lot, but I feel like it's a lot of it's a problem when it's fine when I do it. When Natalie does it, it's a problem because we saw the same kind of dynamic between Prue and Jack. Well, yes, she wasn't playing by Buckland's rules, but she understood like there's a way to do things, and the way that you're doing it is not how I like to do it. I don't cut corners, yada yada yada. And Natalie is
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't cut corners. I do things by the book. They're two sides of the same coin. It's very annoying to see your flaws highlighted in front of you by somebody else.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I also just Natalie
No, I
was
mean, yeah, no,
unlikable
definitely
too.
Natalie was coded very correctly. She was
Yes.
definitely like because there's a way to do that character and have her be annoying. Her just being by the books and being by the rules could be annoying, a foil on its own. But her and Leo having that side conversation which is slightly racist with the it's like, what are y'all doing? And then they're like,
Yeah, I didn't like the Whitelighter talk. It was
yeah, yeah.
especially too and understanding this was a bigger budget, but I had watched a TikTok on The Fifth Element
Mm-hmm.
and how they came up with spoiler alert, I have never seen The Fifth Element in its entirety. I typically stop after the opera singer gets murdered.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched the entirety. But
You theater kid, you.
yeah. Exactly what it is. But how they were able to, like, Mila Jovovich she can speak 5 languages and was able to break down those languages to create another language, and it had 400 words. There was no thought, I think, put into the linguistics behind the Whitelighters, and the
Mm-hmm.
whole clucking thing was weird to me. And obviously, because they are of a lighter tone, I can understand it not being racist, but it was just
Yeah, it was it.
this is season 3. Let's put some effort into what we're doing.
Not even just that, and it was just kind of like the clucking that Prue did afterwards. Like
Yeah.
it just there was something else that could have been used. And I know it's low hanging fruit. It didn't feel awesome. Like this episode just
Right,
didn't
right.
feel good.
Right. When I heard, especially too, when you go into the heavens and then you hear them doing in the background, I was like,
Like
okay.
why
Like,
can't
let's just catch everybody up because I know we're kind of hopping around.
yeah, all
So I
right.
just wanted to catch everybody up into what's going on. So at the beginning of the episode, Piper and Prue are putting together a potion so that Phoebe can make sure that the inspector who has been assigned to Cole's case is not a demon. The potion stinks. It's guano, and so it completely fills the kitchen. But what will happen is when Davidson takes the potion, if he is a demon, it will strangle him from the inside out. Um, Leo has not shown up on time because he's out helping charges. So that is another layer to this episode, and bringing in Natalie because Piper kind of feels rejected and she doesn't really feel like they're on the same page. And that is an underlying plot throughout, which honestly I think I'm over, because if you wanted, there's a skipping a little bit further into the episode, Piper's trying to talk to Leo about what he's been doing throughout his day, and he can't tell her anything because it's classified, because he's a Whitelighter, and because he's on probation he doesn't want to take any chances, and she gets frustrated. And
Which
I feel that you had that before, and you decided that wasn't the route that you wanted to take, and it consistently like beat this over our heads. You didn't want an everyday Susie homemaker. Let's sit down and talk about our relationship. I no longer have empathy for her.
Yeah, this really got on my nerves, and we made the joke last week that if Leo was an Uber driver, Piper would be in the front seat. And it's proven in this episode because, for all intents and purposes, Leo is a therapist. And if he has to be with other clients, he has to be with other clients. You just have to accept that. And to expect him to go, like, to deal with the client and then come home and be like, yo, so let me tell you about my charge, Samantha. Samantha was getting her face punched in by her boyfriend. And
Mm-hmm.
you're asking him to betray other people's confidences, and you're asking him to expound on his day when you know he can't. Like, you wouldn't feel good if he was telling his other charges about you and like your day and what you were doing. How do you think that's okay just because you're his quote unquote fiance? Like, girl, you know, he can't. This is the same thing as if Leo was a doctor working in a hospital. He can't, like, he can tell you oh, I had a gunshot victim come in, but he can't tell you like the ins and outs of this
Right.
victim. And
Yeah,
you kind
I
of
was over
like
it.
you have to accept it, and she doesn't. And throughout the season, I mean, not even throughout the season, throughout the
The
series,
series.
you see that she doesn't, and it's kind of like, girl, you were upset last week because he's an unemployed man. You upset this week because he can't tell you about his day. You picked this struggle. You did. You picked a broke man who is an angel, who is multiple people's guardian angels.
Right.
How did you
Right.
think that this was gonna go? You did it, and now
You didn't.
we have to hear about him dealing with other charges for the next like 8 seasons. I mean, sorry, 5 seasons. I know in like maybe season 5 or whatever, they walk a mile in each other's shoes and she understands what he has to go through a little bit. But that's season 5 and we're in season 3.
It's a lot, and I'm over it. I don't care. I don't care. While this is happening, though, we are introduced to the warlock Eames, and he is pursuing a witch in the alley. I don't know why witches are always hanging out in alleys. Please stay in well lit, populated, well populated places, guys. Like, I feel like this is going back to season 1 where we're giving tips and tricks on how to survive in the world. You are a witch. Why are we always finding you in these backyard alleys every episode? Y'all are getting shanked because it's your fault, okay? Pairs of twos. Come on now. Like, I it also kind of frustrates me later on because when they go on lockdown, the Whitelighters aren't given a chance to tell their charges what's going on. And that girl died by herself and didn't know what was going on. And it's
So
when you
she
start to look
died.
at the
Yeah, she died. They were talking about timeline. She died while they were in their morning meeting discussing this.
and they're like, oh, and on top of that, it then goes to show that the elders kind of know what's going on and almost in an omnipotent way,
Mm-hmm.
because they were able to lock down really, really quick once they figured out what was going on. So why are the dark ones always one upping y'all? Why is there the 7 levels and everybody in the dark side know what's going on, able to, and it shouldn't happen that way, because while there is a common goal, demons are known to just be demons and do
Yeah.
whatever the hell they want for their own personal, you know, movement. So that frustrated me. So anyway, going back into Eames, Eames is pursuing this girl through an alleyway. He throws fireballs at her. She deflects it, and he is excited. He's like, "Oh, you got the power of deflection, baby. You about to be
We know
mine."
why he's excited. Because we find, not even just that, later on in the episode, I guess. Well, we could get there. We'll get there when we get there. Sorry for rushing you.
So she deflects it back into him. It looks like he's been vanquished, but we find out he also has cloning ability. So his real self pops up as she is sighing in relief, and he shanks the fuck out of her right in her belly. And as she is dying, he absorbs her powers. She drops dead to the floor, and that's when Natalie shows up. And if Natalie plays by the book, was she only supposed to show up after she died to try to revive her? Because you clearly knew what was coming, like going on, because the moment her head hit that pavement, she was there to try to revive her. So is that also playing by the book?
The way I read it and the way I look at it, it's as if this was happening while they were having their morning meeting. And as soon as they were like meeting dismissed, Natalie orbs down. Or so either way, they're in the morning meeting, they're discussing it either by the time it ends or whilst she is feeling her charge and danger, she orbs out of the meeting, and then by the time she gets in her charge is dead. Either way, maybe let's not have staff meetings at 8 a.m. Let's not. Let's not have all hands at 8 a.m. Okay? Lesson here. That's a lesson. 8 a.m. all hand meetings, they don't work. Everybody hates you.
They work. So Natalie ends up orbiting into the manor right as Leo and Piper are wrapping up their daily argument or bi-hourly argument with the kiss. She was able to grab the athame that Eames used to kill Vivian. Prue walks in. Prue sees the athame. She thinks that Natalie is a demon. She about to fuck her up. Fuck this bitch up.
I love her.
No
She about to jump
questions
over the
asked.
table. She about to jump over and be like, and I was like, yes, that's how you supposed to. That is how you witch. That is how you witch. I
Not by
know.
Natalie. Natalie said no, no, no.
I know. Like last week, we didn't give Phoebe her props. Which was it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago when the bounty hunter was in the house and she was like, "Demon!" and goes to beat him up. I just love that they are finally kind of on it. They hear a
Right,
sound
right.
and is ready to fight versus like,
Whoop
what's
some
going
ass.
on? What's happening? Is there danger
Leah.
afoot?
Leo, Leo's like, please do not fuck up my friend. We are both Whitelighters. We find out that Natalie and Leo were both medics that died
All
in
they need to know is I'm a fellow Whitelighter. They don't need all that information, okay? Don't tell them about me. Don't tell them I don't know these hoes, and they don't need to know me. All your charges need to know is that I'm a coworker, okay?
As a Scorpio, as somebody who knows that I am bougie, and I know that I have an ego, you're not gonna be in my and as a charmed one, you're not gonna be in my fucking house with that fucking attitude. I don't know who the fuck you like. My tummy was already like, I don't like you, Natalie. You gotta get the fuck out of here immediately, because you're not gonna be in my house that I'm paying the extra line of credit on for this bitch's club for her broke ass man. For you not to be sitting here explaining who the fuck you are. Okay, I was so annoyed because how many other we have met other people, we've met stupids, we've met all these other people who've been like, I'm a swan by night. Like, get out of here. Just it would have taken 30 seconds. Your attitude gonna get you molly whopped in this house, okay? Wait till my sister come in this house and she judo chop you in the throat, okay? I don't know who you talking to like that.
Judo chop. But yeah, I
I mean, what
mean,
else she gonna do?
I already posted it. I already did, so you guys can look at it. The video where Phoebe tries to like the scene with Phoebe she levitates and Natalie just spins her, and I'm just like, why has this not happened more on the show? Because like she levitates up, and it definitely takes her like a half a second to go into whatever she's doing. Of course, that gives the demon enough time to just grab your boot and throw it up.
I think somebody made a good point. Why she always levitates? She levitates in situations that don't need her to levitate, just to prove that she got a power. I don't know who said that, but I 100% agree
I
with you. There was
definitely
no need.
retweeted it on Twitter, so that's probably where you saw it.
There was no need for her to be levitating. She need her ass handed to her. So Natalie is here to tell the sisters that her
Most
most
powerful.
powerful charge, Vivian, got shanked in a back alley because, and I think her reasoning behind it, because I would have said the same thing. Like, if that's your most powerful charge, why you not on her ass? You knew that Eames was coming for her, and she's like, well, she didn't listen to me. I don't think that's enough. If you will be a stickler for the rules, why were you not eyeing her more closely
I
to make sure
feel
that you could pop in when you need to?
I feel like we
And
are
I will give
late.
that to Leo. Leo be popping in.
I feel like they're laying the groundwork for Prue because she said I warned her to lay low, but like she like the way she phrased it, it was like she was too
Mm-hmm.
stubborn to do so, and we see that a lot with Prue. They are laying the groundwork for
Right,
Prue.
right. I also didn't like her because you just lost a charge and there was no emotion there. Which, if you're supposed to be this Whitelighter who's been around for all of these years, how do you not have any, even if it's not like, I'm not asking you to be like tonguing Piper or tonguing Vivian, but some sort of connection to help grow that bond.
I
Some
know
fondness, you know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe
nobody's asking you to diddle her butt or something like that. Like, just
maybe I remember when I was working at the shelter, the reason why I quit the euthanasias got to be like I stopped feeling anything.
right.
And I was like, oh, I'm no longer like when the grieving families are obviously devastated that I have just injected their dog with blue juice and they're just sitting there sobbing and crying. And I'm just like, yo, we got another body to do. So can we like wrap this up? And I was like, oh, bitch, you need to go. Like you gotta get out of here. You can't think
Right,
like that.
right.
And I feel like that maybe is what like Natalie. If Natalie has been a white lighter as long as Leo has, this may be her 50th fucking charge that she's left, that she's lost. So,
You doing a bad job, homie.
I mean, when humans are mortal and can die, and you can't
Oh,
heal the
I thought
dead.
she meant lost because you getting shaped.
But no, I mean, like mortals die, and if you are immortal for unless you get
Right,
hit with an arrow,
right.
you're charged. Like I'm not being an apologist for Natalie. I'm just, you know,
No, no. I mean, you're showing a different light.
yeah.
She does come in hot. She already starts complaining about the special attention that Leo gives the charmed ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that Leo should have stood 10 toes down.
We heard
You
about your special attention.
right? Like, I have the charmed ones. If we're gonna sit here and talk about who's who in the ranking, I have the charmed ones and they deserve special attention. I mean, the Piper thing, she got a point, and then that's when they start clicking
Oh,
and arguing about Piper.
and because like Piper, and I think okay,
Piper's face.
well, no, I think this is my problem with characters like Piper, and I understand that like Mike Tizzy will not let it go. You understand that what you are doing is breaking the rules. We are allowing you to break the rules to see how this works, but you still kind of have to mind your p's and q's. Like you don't have a free reign to do whatever. Like I understand that you are the charm ones, yada yada yada, but like, girl, you are an exception to the rule. Relax. And if we are breaking the rules and we are on probation, at least act like it. At least act like fake the fun. Oh yeah, you had to fix my finger. Oh yeah, my finger. Oh yeah, see, like you're making it hot, girl. Girl, play your part. Play. If you're gonna be a drug dealer's girlfriend, play your part.
I don't think she cares. I think
She don't.
her being a charmed one again, talking about ego and ranking. You want me to do what you want me to do, then you need to do what I want to. Like, you know what I'm saying? She don't give a damn. Piper don't care. Natalie goes to chastise him some more. She chastises sisters because they keep the Book of Shadows in the attic and not a specially protected altar room. When Prue goes to find out who Eames is in the Book of Shadows, she chastises Leo for eating a strawberry, or he tries to go eat a strawberry, but they're not allowed to eat while they're at work. You coming in hot, and this is my house. Like I said before, I pay the bills.
No, fair. Natalie, I feel like it would be worse if we were in P3 though. Like, because at the end of the
Oh
day,
yeah, yeah.
Leo does not do his job. And that is a gripe that we have had since the introduction of Leo. I would be fucking tight. And you have been fucking tight. If you over here busting your ass at a job and your coworker just like, hey, that sucks. I'm gonna go on lunch. You be alright though. Or you working hard at your job and your coworker is just over here bending his shorty over the desk like willy nilly.
I
Like,
mean, is she really working hard? Vivian is in the alleyway, cold.
under, I mean, if
See,
if
Leo
if
needs to be having comebacks. All three my charges are good.
bitch, your charge just died like 3 weeks ago. What you talking about? Her sister had to kill her. What are you talking about? That's the 14th time they died. What are you talking about?
But they come back. But they come back.
So Natalie brings up first of all, this is how much I fucking despise, and this is why I can't really be mad at fucking Natalie, because Leo was like, well, the Charm ones took out Balthazar, and Balthazar took out the Triad. You had no part in that. In fact, you actually made it harder for them to do their job because you healed him. Like, come on, you healed a demon. You were not doing your job, and Natalie
I
was.
mean, he can't say that though. He can't.
I
He
know.
can't say
And
that
Natalie
part.
was like, okay, thank you for opening the door, counselor. Balthazar is a perfect example. How the fuck did he get that close to them so he could do all of this shit? If you were on your job, it wouldn't have gotten this far.
You know what? I'm going to give Leo pause on that because the elders ain't no shit either. And we talked about that multiple times that the elders ain't know who the fuck Cole was. Okay. So he did ask, it took him a while, but he did go ask the elders, and elders ain't no shit. All they knew about who Balthazar was. They just knew the hunk in the red. They know the human hunk.
I,
And so at that point, he did all that he could do because up there, whoever is supposed to be watching and eyeing, like, do they not have spies? Somebody, because they're
it was just,
anyway. We gonna move forward. We gonna move forward because if I keep you on this Leo tizzy, we never gonna get finished. So while all this is happening, Phoebe is finally at lunch with Davidson. They're in a diner. He even mentions like, "Oh, you must be a little nervous. You have something to hide because why are we in a public place?" And she's like, "It's because you black. I don't trust you. You can take my wallet." And I get that. That did not happen. She did not say that part. But she's just like, no, I don't have anything to hide. What do you mean? I don't have anything to hide. Oh my gosh. She gets him distracted. She puts the potion in his coffee. He starts choking. She's like, fuck, he is a demon, but he was not. Which, I feel like they should do that with all of the men that they come into contact with.
what's funny is
Why they only do it to the black person?
we bypassed it because we were talking about so many different things. Prue is making this potion for Phoebe because Phoebe still hasn't learned her lesson. She was like, there may be a chance that Reese could be a demon. And Phoebe was like, yo, you right. I didn't even think of that. How? You were the one seduced. You should be the one on the most lookout.
I mean, but not even she was the one seduced, but Piper's the first person that they murdered was Piper. The fact that that's not part of their daily routine every time. I mean, it doesn't have to be every time you bang somebody, but if they're going to be coming around, because I mean, clearly demons do it better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why the girls have gotten got twice. But I feel that once you want to, have them around a little bit more often, spike their tea, spike their coffee. Let's just make sure. So I'm glad that the girls are finally being able to learn from their mistakes and move on from it.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a demon. He starts talking about all like the blood that was in Cole's house,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he had all that occult stuff. He was like, your boy was a hotep. You don't find that concerning? Did he sell you bean pies? Did he? And she was like, no, I don't know what you mean. Oh my goodness. And Davidson was like, you raggedy ass bitch, you a liar.
Because she was like,
You can't say
because she
that.
messed up. She was supposed to say, he asked her some questions. She was like, right. Yes. Right, I did it. Now, like, she has too many lies in her head to keep them straight.
She can't be a ride or die. She would get you locked up so quickly on a oops. So while all of that is happening, we're back at the manor. In the book, they find out about deflection. Prue and Piper don't understand how the warlock would have been able to get as close to Vivian if she was supposed to be this all-powerful witch. How she get caught in the back alley? I had the same question. So did I. Thank you for being able to answer that. And we find out that this man has been on it for a decade. He went to Kenya and yoked up somebody. It's
What?
just like, what?
You keep coming after black witches.
So this is where, so you talked about the clicking
Mm-hmm.
being upsetting to you. This is where I got upset. He goes to Kenya to get the ability to shapeshift. And I was like, what kind of Lion King racist trope is that?
Transmogrification. Another one where, so this is another scene where Piper.
There's only, not to cut you off, but they only call out the Kenya. Because they also say that 2 years later, he also yokes up another witch to get his cloning ability.
Mm-hmm.
He don't say he went to Russia or China. It's 10 toes down on your racism. Let's be 10 toes down. Why you ain't go to Asia to get your cloning?
This reminds me of our conversation that we had offline. Like, now why is Jamaica in it? Huh? All right. He didn't kill nobody.
They ate his ass alive on TikTok. He had to put out like 3 different videos.
So to paint,
don't mess with Jamaicans.
To paint a picture, there was a TikToker who was reporting on a murder that happened out here in New York, and he describes the murderer as a Jamaican murderer. And like, what does that have to do with anything? Why is Jamaica in it? He killed these people in Queens, New York. What the fuck? Why has him being Jamaican have anything to do with him being a murderer? It's like, and then he's like, I'm Jamaican too. I can say Jamaican murderer.
They ate him up. They ate him.
He came back with his patois and was like, me a Jamaican man.
Follow him, but he comes on my timeline quite a lot. And I just feel that he's very biased in his reporting, which is why I don't follow him. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be a Bravo blog, be a Bravo blog and just report the facts. Like his hatred for Giselle, I thrive on it because like she don't be doing apps. She be doing the bare minimum. And the hate that you have for this woman is wild. But anyway, going back into it. So they obviously now think, right, that Eames is he's planning something big, but they don't know what it is. And clearly he's trying to take, at least, right, on a bare minimum, mm-hmm. he's trying to kill the witches. Mm-hmm. Even if you can't figure out what the end game is, you know he's trying to kill witches. Do they go and tell any of the witches, hey, y'all need to, stay indoors, pairs, quadruplets, something? They don't tell nobody nothing. This man is on the loose, is taking out witches left and right. There is not a alert that goes up on the Whitelighter message board. Nobody pages anybody else. Nobody click-clacks to they other. It's just weird to me because when Cole took out the triad, all the demons knew that he took out the triad. There was a bounty put on his head. Right? No, so I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knew.
You said
What?
that, and all I could hear is a 10-10 wins like sound in my head.
Something you telling me you don't know what his end game is, but clearly he is taking out witches who have active powers. So Phoebe, you good. But the rest of
I hate you.
but the rest of y'all need to be, you know, nothing. What happens to the elders later on, they 100% deserve, because this is wild. It also plays, I think, when you know, move further along into religion, like the bad guys have all the fun. It always seems like the bad guys play a better game than the good guys. Why are y'all not
I
organized?
said this
But
last
moving on,
week. I
because
said this last
we
week.
have been in this for an hour and a half.
I know. It's just like, you know, the police don't talk to each other. The guys don't talk to each other.
No. So, Piper's over this shit. They start. So Natalie's wild. Natalie's like, can you excuse us so we can talk in private? Or it was like, absolutely not. It freezes. And Leo, they go and they have an offline conversation in the kitchen. And Leo's like, you can do that shit in the bedroom, but you can't be doing that in front of the Whitelighters. And it's too much information for me. It was, I mean, we knew it. We had seen it, but it was for him to have thrown it out in an argument. You lucky I allow that to happen when we're having sex, but out in public,
The only thing I like about this scene is when Natalie unfreezes and Prue is just like, hi, Piper froze you. Like, Prue is chaotic good in this episode.
oh
And
gosh,
she
I
needs to
loved
be
her.
chaotic good throughout the rest of her run.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the entire series.
I
You mean the
know.
next
I
episode?
I caught myself, all right? Oh man, you got me crying this entire episode.
Phoebe walks in. She clearly sees that there's contention between them, even though, as usual, they deny that there's contention, or Leo denies there's contention between them. They fill her in on what's going on with Natalie. Prue is trying to scry for Eames, trying to focus on Vivian's power because that is technically still alive in Eames. They were able to find Eames in Industrial District. Phoebe walks in. Phoebe gets a vision of Eames killing what they believe is a male witch. So they about to hiya, freeze they way into the alley. Again, always in these back alleys at random times. And Natalie says, well, let me go and talk to the elders to make sure
that what we do, we're not walking into a trap.
Right. And Prue was like, that's not how we do things in this charmed household, okay? There was an innocent on the line. We gotta go and find the innocent. Fuck you. And they go back and forth. And finally, Prue's like, you know what? We're gonna wait for you. I understand where you're coming from. And the moment she orbs out, they go to the alley. They, you know, think that it is an innocent. We find out that it is a dark lighter. Eames ends up killing the dark lighter and taking the bow.
Am I wrong for thinking that they should have realized that was a dark lighter sooner?
But didn't they also get caught with the innocent trick like last week?
Yes. They learned nothing. They learned absolutely
we did give Prue pops earlier for the potion.
Yes.
But yes.
They always run into the unassuming victim. Like, oh my god. This person's in trouble. But I'm sorry. I know premonitions are in black and white or whatever. But that was a black on black suit that you could very clearly tell that was a black on black suit. If that's not the white,
nefarious, right? Like he didn't look like the seventh son. Like the seventh son had this innocence to him. He was very docile. In the premonition, that man looked like he be copping feels without asking.
He was straight up like he was wearing the Dark Lighter uniform, but didn't know.
But you also have to depend on Phoebe for the download of information. Just understand who has been given the premonition powers. You have to depend on Phoebe to be able to fill in all of those blanks. So I'm gonna give the other two a pass just because they didn't get that information. See, Phoebe didn't sit down and say, well, this is what I saw in my premonition, blah, 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 blah. So I'm gonna give that. So they come back in. Natalie finally comes back and is like, they think it's a trap. They don't necessarily believe it's an innocent. And they're like, yeah, about that. We ain't listening to you. She is pissed at Leo. And the elders are like, fuck this shit. Both of y'all need to come upstairs. And they hold hands. And Piper's like, y'all ain't had to do all that to go orb out. We gonna have a conversation about that later. Piper wasn't feeling that.
I mean,
there's
I was giving Natalie great. This is literally like the the two best friends. Yes, this is that. I was giving her great. First of all, once I heard close friends, I was like, we're not. I don't have anything else to say. Like the hoodie.
It was weird.
If I heard the hoodie first, I would have been like,
Well, the hoodie thing, the way the second girl describes it, is downplaying her actions because she was taking pictures with just the hoodie on her undies. It wasn't like
no. I understand that. So yeah, the close friends one, off rip. Why are you with my man? Why is my man in your close friends? And she's just
it's
like,
weird.
oh, I just add everybody to my close friends.
No, you don't.
No, there's a reason why we have close friends. I
no,
post thirst traps on my regular account, so post them on your regular, Instagram, not just on your thirst. Like, what are you talking about? Then she was like, oh, he mounted the TV for me, and I just want to say thanks by giving him.
Pay him.
Look up how much the cheapest person on Thumbtack.
Or TaskRabbit is
on Thumbtack. And fucking
pay him. And on top of that, she brought she didn't say, okay, wait here. Let me go get you a sandwich while you working. I could understand that. Like as he's working, which you don't really take that long to hang up
You are frozen. I don't know why you're frozen.
That's fine. So she didn't necessarily get the sandwich as he was working. She got the sandwich and then waited the very next morning to give it to him. I'm telling you, just she knew what she was doing, and the fact that she tried to downplay it all, she's a raggedy bitch.
Yes. But
so while all of this is happening,
Natalie, for go ahead. Whatever reason, holds Leo's hand when she's orbiting back up, when they're orbiting up to the heavens, and that's when I would have thrown a shoe at her ass. Shoe, or about with a fucking boot print on your face.
All this is happening now. Phoebe's like, Leo, I need to talk to you in private. This is when you decide. You telling me on Monday y'all didn't have no attacks and you couldn't sit down, Leo, and talk to him in that there. You couldn't wait until after this was handled. No, all this is going on. You guys might lose Leo as your Whitelighter. Piper wants to put her foot in his ass. This is when you decide to tell him. By the way, I did not.
Something. There's a line, and I wish I had wrote it down. There's something that gives her the sign that this is the time to tell him.
Hold on. I have the thing pulled up. So earlier, she had said that she had wanted to talk to him.
Yes.
And so with all that, when he comes back, that's when he's like, hey, with everything going on, I forgot that you wanted to talk. But as a person who is seeing everything that's going on, you could have easily just said, we can talk later. I don't think right now is the time. Read the room. Read the room. So she finally tells him. He flips the fuck out. He's like, you dumb hoe.
God, I'm gonna make a timestamp for that because that was loud.
Oh. She's like, you dumb hoe. He's like, he wore the skin of a killer, Bella. I don't give a fuck if he's half human. He was flipping out. And I was cackling because I don't think we've ever seen Leo get this upset. And Phoebe's like, I couldn't kill him. I loved him. I love him. You don't understand. He saved me. I had every intention of doing it. I knew Prue was going to blow his ass up and I had to save him.
I figured if anybody would understand forbidden love, you would. So Leo makes a face that is giving full Met Rife, and
Leo says, "You want me to be one of the boys? You want me to be one of the boys?"
And it's, I don't know what verbal cue it was. I don't remember what verbal cue it was that was the sign that Phoebe needed to get this off her chest. It wasn't the right time. And honestly, I think it was just because we needed to move the plot forward.
Yep,
Because
yep.
on
She been hemming and hawing for that long.
not even just that. So what we skipped over is Natalie and Leo are up in the heavens talking,
Yep.
and not so
She's mad annoying.
she's chastising Leo once again, and he's like, "Mind your fucking business. I can do my job." She's like, "Actually, it's my business because the elders don't really think you're doing your job right, and from what I'm seeing, you not." And that's when Phoebe calls him, and he's like, "Well, according to the rules, a charges call comes first, and I gotta go." And that's when we get into that whole
Yeah.
scene. So he has just learned that his bosses thinks he sucks at his job. He learns that his one of his charges didn't do her job correctly, and then
After he was just bragging about the fact that they took out one of the best demon hunters around. Ain't do shit. They
yeah,
didn't do shit.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Natalie come back, right?
mm-hmm,
And this is where it starts to get wild. But we gonna move through this quickly
mm-hmm.
because I don't want to go on a tangent. So after that happens, he's upset. He walks away. He start getting period pains. And he's like, "Oh my god, what is going on? I don't understand. This man is bent over. Like, Piper, this is what you got to deal with every month. No wonder you're such a bitch. I get it now." We find out Natalie orbs in. Her and Prue were talking. We find out that he is feeling the pain of a witch being stabbed. And they kind of him and Natalie kind of go back and forth about it, which I didn't necessarily think it was the time. Because Natalie's like, "Yeah, well, I feel it too, but I don't like that get involved in my job."
I
Clearly
get a
there's an issue.
period once a month too. I work right through it. I don't understand why you can't.
And again, I think it kind of plays back as we talk about race. It's really difficult to see a Black woman being murdered because they're trying to get her white lighter. Natalie is completely like disillusioned to it. Leo does want to go, but cannot because
Prue
they
stops
have
it.
put the white
No,
lighters on
actually, no, no, no.
lockdown. Prue
Prue,
does go and stop
yeah.
him. Yes.
And she's like, "Why haven't I thought about it before? Duh. The only reason why he would want a dark lighter's arrow is so he can kill a white lighter."
And he kind of beats himself. In two ways, he beats himself up. One, he can't go and save the charge. And two, he knew that if he had ran in there unprotected, he would have gotten shot. And that would have given him the white lighter powers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely very, very torn. But once Eames realizes that nobody is coming to save her, he kills her.
Bye,
And it's
LaShawn.
very...
I'll see you in Port Charles. I will, for how she was treated in this episode, I'm going to say her name.
So sisters are pissed off at Natalie because she didn't allow them to go save the witch. And now it's going to be even worse trying to vanquish Eames because of just the amount of powers that he's been able to collect. Also, it hasn't been... I just wanted to reiterate that this isn't over the course of 2 days that he's gotten his power.
This is the
This
same.
man started his journey a decade ago. And the White Lighters and the Elders did absolutely nothing. So fuck all of y'all. When you think about it, just fuck all of y'all. Because it could have been avoided. Leo is upset. He feels like his feelings for them has completely clouded his responsibility to do anything. And so he had already talked to the elders and was like, "Well, I can't do my job. Clearly Natalie can do a better job. And so I'm going to step aside and let, Natalie be your white lighter until I decide to come back." And so the girls are upset. They go into this whole montage of Natalie trying to be strict with them, military style training, getting them to write, the excuse me, getting them to write the spell. So you see the rhyming dictionary there. It was very heavy-handed. You had talked earlier about her going to Haya in the air and Natalie spinning her around. The girls are kind of over it. She tells Prue that she can't wear tight clothes. But in the very next scene, you see Prue with her bra hanging out. Like a fuck you to Natalie.
Well, yeah. So again, you're putting two things together. So
Yep.
Leo is like, "Hey, I quit. I can't be your Whitelighter anymore. I'm supposed to be leading you, and you're leading me." Because again, Prue puts two and two together and realizes this is a trap. On top of everything that Natalie has said, on top of what Phoebe has said, I'm out. So now that uh, Natalie is in charge, she's like, we're gonna do things differently. And she's like, we're gonna fight him better, stronger. We're changing things sartorially, and nobody knows what that means except for Piper. And she's like, she doesn't like our clothes. And the reason why this sticks out to me a lot, because this was definitely in the promo where Prue goes, well, then I have nothing to wear. I distinctly remember the WB promo for this episode and them saying, I have nothing to wear. And I don't know why, but anyway. So Piper is now in they're all in like various kinds of camo, but Phoebe is culturally appropriating an Asian camo. um, Piper has like a snakeskin ponytail, and Prue is with like the camo shirt with the bright pink pastel bra showing like all around here. Um, they how long is this has been the longest 24 hours of anybody's life.
Yep.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
from the training montage, they go to P3 to come up with a spell, which is where
Mm-hmm.
Piper learns to do this for the very first time, supposedly. Um, we get the we're rejecting your deflection,
Mm-hmm.
and we learn that Natalie seals her fate by being
Bait.
bait, essentially. Thank you. Ames needs a Whitelighter. I'll be the Whitelighter. And like, no, we can't let you do that. My concern isn't for you though. Well, it's not just for you. Like, if you die, Leo's feelings is gonna be sad for a while. So maybe don't die. But this is where they're all in agreement. The charm ones are in agreement that we're gonna let her die. Okay, if she wants to die, let her die. And since it's her plan, we won't get blamed for it. If she dies executing her plan, we were just doing what she wanted. She wanted to be bait, and this is the casualty of bait. We won't get in trouble. It's the perfect crime.
So what happens is Natalie goes and orbs into the dead witch. Eames pops in, tries to shoot at her, but she orbs away. So the arrow goes through her little bubbles. The girls come. They fling the crossbow from Eames' hands. He disappears, shimmers out because we then find out that he was a clone. And the sisters are concerned. They're like, he doesn't fight us. He doesn't do anything. Nothing. He just disappears. They agree, well, this is what she wanted, so we're going to go back to the manor, but they are concerned about him not fighting. They get back to the manor. They hand the crossbow over to Natalie. They're again saying we are concerned because he didn't fight back, he just disappeared. His clone was there. We never actually truly got to see Eames, nor did we actually fight him, but we came back because we're playing by the rules, and that's what you wanted us to do. And it kind of clicks in Natalie's head just a little bit too late that the only thing that was left behind was the crossbow. And what does Eames have the power of?
Modification.
And the moment it clicks and they all realize it, you see like him start to come from the crossbow and you see his head. Eames was the crossbow all along. He takes Natalie hostage. The girls try to fight him. It was a very he was like, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't got shit for me. It was like deflecting everything. And he goes and he stabs her. And they're like, oh no. They call for Leo. Leo comes downstairs. He has been watching even though he was not supposed to, because remember, they're on lockdown. He's not supposed to be their Whitelighter anymore, but he was watching what was going on. So he already knew that he kind of had to jump in. He says he thinks there's only one chance to stop him, but it does involve breaking all the rules. He mentions that obviously being shot, because he had been shot before by a Darklighter's arrow, it does take some time to die. And so I thought first run through that they were going to go and try to save her and heal her and everything like that. Nope. Nope. They just knew that that was enough time to put their plan together. So nobody comes to save Natalie. He's like, oh, look at you.
Do I hear
You're
somebody?
withering in pain.
He
Oh
was
my
like, "Do I
God.
hear somebody coming?" No, but I hear somebody going.
Wild. I love him very much. And he takes the arrow and jams it in further into her tummy, and she
Succumbs.
exits her way out. He takes her powers and goes up into the heavens where the girls are waiting and whoop his ass. They say the spell was actually really well put together because they were able to deflect and take away all of the powers that he had stolen. And because the only power that they did not take away, which is very smart, girls, was the Whitelighter power. He shoots the arrow at them. They freeze the arrow, and then after they say the spell, they throw his frozen body on the arrow where he dies. It was a really good ending. I wouldn't say that it fell flat. I didn't feel bad for Natalie either, so that didn't matter.
So I think it's because of how because Peacock doesn't have all of the music rights for it. So this episode ends with Piper and Leo officially engaged. Probation is over. They can get married. Yada yada yada. And like the music that they were playing for the outro did not match like the love that we were watching, I guess. And I was like, it further proved that this was a murder episode. Like it didn't sound happy. And the outro sounded like these women got away with murder because they did.
Also, so you had on one hand, you had the fact that they do have an official engagement, but you also have on the other hand that Leo is now carrying the weight of the fact that he knows about is not dead. And Piper is like, something is going on with you and you think I'm stupid, but I'm here when you want to talk. But you think I'm dumb and I'm not.
Yeah, the episode supposedly ends on a high note, but I
It doesn't.
it doesn't. Again, I think it's mostly because of the music Peacock selected for the outro. Also, it's because they literally allowed a force of good to die so your sister can marry a homosexual that she is incompatible with in every shape and form. The only thing they have in common are that they're magical beings. Anything? How would you handle the conflict in the episode, or any tweaks that you would make? I mean,
Though I think at some point in time, and maybe because I'm closer. Well, also too, I am the eldest in our trio, so I probably would. No, I probably would have fucked the demon. I feel like I'd have told you guys, but it wouldn't have been like, oh my god, I'm like, yeah, I fucked him. Yeah, I was trying to kill my boo, and I was gonna let that happen. Now what? Now what? But I think that's also different. Like we talked earlier, like the hierarchy. I'm the eldest. I think our Phoebe probably would have done the same thing that Phoebe did. Like, oh shit.
um,
Other than that, like I don't really care about Leo and Piper. I'm like I said before, I'm over it.
yeah, I had officially canceled the love interest
I
chemistry
know.
segment, and if I did it then, I would have definitely done it in this episode because, girl, let that man like this is what you picked. This is what you picked. This is your man. Stand beside him. You wanted a magical being because all he could do was understand like the magic side of you, not anything else. And it's like the 80-20 rule, and Leo's definitely the 20, but she already
Oh, I was about to say, I hope you weren't saying he was an 80. Oh no, he
Leo's
is definitely the shorty.
Leo's definitely the 20 that she thinks is an 80, but you gave up the 80 for the
He gave the whole, that was like 95. We could have been rich.
and like had you not gaslight him for half a season, he probably would have been okay with you being a witch. He was okay with you being a witch, as evidenced
You're
by
not, no, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You
anyway.
ready?
Anyway, I am giving this episode for LaShawn Andersons because god damn, you suffered and you will not suffer in vain.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna give this 6.5 Black Power Fist because she carried this episode on her back. When you think about it, if it wasn't for her death, they would not have been able to do what they did to Eames. So Black Power, it's always on the black back of us. Fuck that shit, yeah.
Ridiculous. But so which beholds, blessed be.
Blessed be, bitches.